Some places in Skyrim aren't meant to be noticed. They sit off the road, not on it. They glow with no torches. No name hovers over the screen until you're nearly at the doorstep. No quests, no characters of note, but they're still watching you. On the cold coast of East Windhelm, where snow sinks into the sea and the wind forgets to blow, there's a cabin. It's called Trader's Post, and nothing ever happens here. But it exists, and somehow that makes it worse. Trader's Post is a small wooden house built where no one should live. It clings to the edge of Skyrim's northeastern coast, north of Mixwater Mill, southeast of Windhelm, and surrounded by silent falling snow. No road leads to it, no map points you in its direction. And when you finally stumble across it, if you ever do, it doesn't greet you with dialogue or narrative. It doesn't even introduce itself. It just squats there, abandoned and still, like it's trying to forget it was ever built. But someone is there. Bandits live inside, but not many, just 3. As if they can't even be bothered to show up in numbers. There are bear traps laid across the snow outside, carefully arranged, rusted open, some half buried under thin layers of snow. They're not meant for you, well, not specifically, they're just there. Sprung, waiting, forgotten, like someone put them out one night in fear and never came back to check them, or like they've become a ritual, something the bandits do out of habit. Inside there are crates, a bedroll, a few scattered items and some minor loot. No books, no journals, one chest that is almost worth writing home about. No name on the mail, no dreams on the pillow, just a place, just a cabin and just a post. A post for what though? That's the question Skyrim never answers. Trader's Post is a loaded name. It implies betrayal, a hidden history, maybe a secret meeting ground for someone who fled a war, maybe a last stand for someone who changed sides, maybe a forgotten outpost for soldiers who never made it back. But the game never tells you who the traitor was. There are no letters on the table, no burnt flags, no signs of conflict or identity. Just bandits who don't speak and traps that don't matter. The name stands on its own, however, like a ghost of meaning. The kind of name that feels left over from a story they never got written, or one that was erased on purpose. The bandits in Trader's Post are exactly what you expect. Hostile, forgettable, functionally identical to every other trio of low-level thugs in Skyrim. They don't carry unique names, they don't have unique loot, they don't even have a unique formation. One waits outside, one stands on the porch, one paces in the snow. It's as if the game placed them there using a template, just enough to make you draw your sword, but not enough to make you ask why they're there. And maybe that's the point, because these bandits aren't protecting anything. They're not holding down turf, they're not hiding stolen gold or rare treasure. They're just occupying a space that no one else wanted. They're just filling the silence. If you open the map, Trader's Post barely registers. The area east of Windhelm is cold, flat, and mostly devoid of landmarks. No cities, no quests, no Daedric shrines or dragon burials. It's a space in Skyrim that feels like a canvas no one painted on. Even the snow here seems tired. Nearby are a few animals, some sparse tundra plants, and the occasional hunter or a saber cat. But there's no real reason to be here. No faction will send you this way. No courier will deliver a letter with a clue. No NPC will ever say the words Trader's Post out loud. The house just waits, but not for you, and not for anyone else. In-game development, not everything gets to be finished. Some places were meant to host a quest that got cut. Some locations were built for encounters that never got written. And sometimes, things were added to break up travel distance, to fill space, to keep the world from feeling empty. But here's the irony. Trader's Post feels empty anyway. It has bandits, it has traps, it has a name and a location and a geometry. But it doesn't have anything else. It feels like the house itself was forgotten mid-sentence, as if a designer put it in, planning to come back, and never did. Unlike other abandoned homes in Skyrim, places like the Abandoned Shack or the Alchemist's Shack, Trader Post doesn't tell a story through bones or blood. No skeleton slumped over a desk, no journal half-written, no lingering spell effects or strange music cues. Nothing supernatural, nothing emotional, nothing memorable. And that's what makes it feel so uncanny, because the lack of detail here isn't atmospheric, it's unsettling. It's like the house is trying to disappear, like it knows it shouldn't exist, but yet it does. You won't be sent here, not by a Jarl, not by a mage, not by a Daedric prince. There's no side quest that leads you to the front door, no bounty notice that mentions this place. Not even radiant quests, those endlessly repeating objectives will pull you in. If you find this place, you find it alone. And nothing happens when you do. You only get one marker cleared, no dialogue opens, no music plays. You kill the bandits, check the containers, maybe spring a trap, and then you leave. That's it. And the game forgets you were ever there. Skyrim is somewhat of a game of noise. Dragons scream, shouts echoing in mountain passes, quest markers that pull you from cave to cave and city to city. But Trader's Post is quite opposite of that. It is a house defined by its lack of things, a moment on the map where no story happens, a named location that exists purely as a whisper. And like the old Roldan Inn or Pilgrim's Trench, its silence says something. Something about the world, something about forgotten places, and something about people who once mattered and then didn't. Inside the shack at Trader's Post, there's a fire pit. The logs are in place, arranged as if someone meant to build a fire but never struck the flint. And that's the kind of detail that lodges in your memory. Because in Skyrim, fires are everywhere. Lit braziers, roaring hearths, torches in tombs. Warmth is a signal that life is near, but this one is quite cold. And it raises the question you can't answer. Were the bandits squatting here temporarily, waiting to move on? Were they left behind by a bigger gang, forgotten like the cabin itself? Or did someone else once live here, someone who vanished before the flames ever caught? The fire feels symbolic of the whole location, something half finished, something half remembered, half abandoned. Like someone stopped writing mid-page and never picked up the pen again. So the pit sits cold, not because it went out, but because it never burned in the first place. Most homes in Skyrim feel alive. Even abandoned ones hint at memory. Someone once cooked here, someone once fought here, and someone once prayed here. But Trader's Post doesn't. It doesn't remember anything, and it doesn't care that you're here. You can clear it, you can avoid it, you can return 20 levels later and find the same traps, the same nameless bandits, the same snow on the roof. It's not haunted, it's not cursed, it's just empty. A home with a name with no story. The only home in Skyrim where nothing happens. And maybe that's exactly why it stays with you.